The message came while I was in a meeting. A small vibration. One notification. "Thanks for the place, sis. She loved it." No name, just that. A text meant for someone else. I stared at it, the blue light of the screen reflecting in my coffee. Her sister's number, the one I had added to my family group chats, the one who smiled too easily whenever my wife spoke of girls' nights. I didn't reply. I just watched the message fade into the list of unread ones, a quiet echo inside my mind. There are moments that split reality, not with sound, but with silence. That was one of them. I knew in that exact moment something had been built behind my back. A place, a secret, a nest, and my wife was inside it. She came home that night humming, hair damp from the rain, lips redder than usual. Her perfume arrived before she did. "Long day?" I asked. "Yeah," she said, smiling. "Just work and errands." Work, errands. She spoke like someone rehearsing. Her eyes didn't meet mine long enough to anchor truth. I nodded. "Dinner's in the oven." She kissed my cheek, her lips soft, practiced. It was mechanical affection, gentle, hollow. As she walked away, I caught a faint whiff of cologne. Not mine. Later that night, while she showered, I opened her phone. Her sister's chat was pinned at the top. I scrolled, reading half sentences and photos deleted for privacy. A few slips remained, dates, locations, half jokes that didn't land clean. "Tell him you're visiting Mom, he'll never check." The words didn't hurt, they confirmed what my instincts had already whispered. Pain came later, quiet, precise. It didn't scream, it planned. I started with the credit card statements, hotel names, small charges, rideshare routes that looped through neighborhoods I didn't recognize. I didn't confront her. I simply observed. Silence is sharper than suspicion. 2 weeks later, I followed her car after she went shopping. She parked in front of a quiet suburban house, one that my company's construction branch had renovated last year. She had used my resources, my contacts. Her sister's name was on the lease. It was almost admirable, this symmetry of betrayal. I watched her step out, hair tied loosely, her face lighting up as a man opened the door. He looked like someone who believed in luck. He was about to learn how fragile that belief was. I took photos, not for revenge, for confirmation. I needed truth to be undeniable, clean, and cold. Back home, I sat in the dark. Every thought was measured, every breath accounted for. I could have confronted her that night, but emotion was a liability. I waited. Days bled into weeks. They built their nest, and I built a plan. It happened on a Sunday morning. Sunlight poured through the curtains like nothing was wrong. She sat across the table, scrolling her phone, pretending not to exist. I slid an envelope toward her. No words, no sound. Inside, photos, statements, screenshots. Her sister's name circled in red. Her lover's face caught in clean, merciless light. She didn't open it right away. When she finally did, her hand trembled slightly. Not from guilt, but from the sudden exposure of it. She looked up, her lips parted, but no sound came. I held her gaze. No anger, no accusation, just truth. "Was it worth it?" I asked quietly. Her eyes filled, not with tears, but calculation, searching for a way out. I stood. "Don't answer. You already did." She reached out. "Please, just listen." "I have." I left the room before her tears could become a weapon, before I could remember that I once loved her. I didn't scream, I didn't beg, I just moved money. Her sister worked under my company's HR division. I sent one email. Her contract? Terminated. A quiet cancellation. No explanation. Then came the family accounts. Their cards, their allowances, their safety nets. All frozen. Every indulgence they ever took from my generosity evaporated overnight. Her sister tried calling. I didn't answer. Her mother messaged my wife in panic. I watched from across the room as she tried to hide her shaking hands. When her sister arrived that evening, furious, broke, terrified, I opened the door myself. "You built a nest," I said calmly. "You can live in it." Her face turned pale. She realized I wasn't bluffing. There was nothing to rebuild from. I didn't threaten. I didn't explain. I just closed the door. Behind me, my wife sobbed. Not for love, but for loss of comfort. They had planned an escape. I had already burned the bridge. Weeks passed. The silence in the house became familiar, peaceful in a way. She moved out eventually, to nowhere really. The lever disappeared once the cards stopped working. Her sister stopped calling. Their family name faded into quiet bankruptcy. The nest they built collapsed under the weight of their own greed. I never checked on them again. I wasn't angry anymore. Anger belongs to people who still care. One night, I drove past the empty house they'd used. Curtains torn, locks broken, a ruin of affection that never meant anything. I parked outside for a while, watching the dark windows. Then I whispered to myself, a truth as clean as glass. You don't destroy betrayal. You let it destroy itself. I started the car, drove away, and for the first time in months, I felt nothing. Justice doesn't scream. It waits, smiles, and watches everything it was owed collapse on its own.